No baseball, basketball, or hockey to get you through until the football weekend? Don't worry, we have you covered over at WagerTalk and SportsMo with our soccer handicappers. Get the rest of 2020 from your favorite soccer expert with an all-access soccer package for just $249. This is normally priced at $399, but right now it's discounted $150 off, and it includes any 5% plays normally priced at $40. Just head over to WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com to take advantage of this deal to lock in one of your soccer experts through the end of the year.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Stoppage Time. This is a live show. We're switching gears from Champions League over to Thursday's Euro 2020 playoffs. We're down to the final stage, 4 one-off games with a spot in next year's 2021 Euros that were obviously canceled this summer because of the pandemic. With me from Sports Memo is Pavlos Laguretos, and from WagerTalk, it's Nick Borrman and Kevin Dolan, one of my favorite guys in Ireland. Boys, welcome. Kev, how you doing?
All good, Carmine. All good. How's yourself?
We're doing good. A little recovery from last night's NFL football game, early morning. Let's pop off this show. We've got 4 games we're going to cover, and then free plays from each one of the guys. I'll cover one of the games myself. Nick, how's it going?
Great. It's Masters Week. I can't wait. I'm super excited for this week. And, of course, international football, soccer, that is always fun. I do really well during this time, so I'm looking forward to the weekend.
And our man who's he's just sat back and relaxed there, Pavlos, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I had a great week. Last week I had like 37 units in bankroll increase, so it's really great. I won my 5% on the MLS on Sunday, so it's really great. Looking forward to continue this week.
Pavlos is talking about his units. That's not something I want to hear. With that said, okay, guys. So obviously it's 4 games. These are teams that finished the top 8 that did not qualify out of their groups. Top 2 in each group of Euro qualifying obviously made it to next year's tournament. These ones are one-offs, and we're at the point now where I'm always used to these home and away ones to get in, which is what they'll do in the playoffs for the World Cup. But with the Euros, these are one-offs. So with that said, guys, we're going to head to the very first game. I'm going to get Pavlos to break this one up. But this is Georgia and North Macedonia. I know you were excited when I gave you this game. A lot of the stuff, Pavlos, when I look at these lines, and you look at the line in this game is Georgia's plus 170. The draw is 200, plus 200. North Macedonia's plus 187. And the total here is 2, which is, a lot of these totals are very low, and it's expected. I think we're going to get into that at some point. But, you look at, I always look at these games in home and away form. And, Georgia during the Euro qualifiers went 1-2-1 at home. Their only loss was 2-0 to Switzerland. But 6-3-1 their last 10 at home. And if you go even further back, 15 games at home, they've only lost twice. The other one was a World Cup qualifier against Wales, losing 1-0. North Macedonia, it's one of those things where they play well at home, but they don't always carry that form away on the road. 1-2-2. They started off decently with a couple of draws, and they win. But then they eventually played the 2 group teams that advanced, Austria and Poland, losing both of those. So break this game down for me and give us a play.
Georgia, they're a pretty solid side. They're unbeaten in their last 5 matches with 2 wins and 3 draws. In those 5 matches, 4 matches had under 2.5 goals. Now let's take a look at their home form. They have 5 wins, just 1 loss and 3 draws in their last 9 matches. That loss was to Switzerland, who is a much better side. In those 5 home wins, they kept 4 clean sheets as well. So they're a really solid side at home. They haven't actually had a great opposition in those matches, but they do great against teams that are equally good as them. So now let's take a look at the North Macedonia side. They also have a 5-match unbeaten run, actually a 6-match unbeaten run with 3 wins and 3 draws. They don't do well, as you said, on the road. They have only 1 win in their last 7 matches on the road. They've only won 3 of their last 10 matches on the road. All 3 wins came with clean sheets. But those wins were against Latvia, Liechtenstein, and Gibraltar, who are very weak sides. The Georgia's much stronger than them. So the two teams also met in the Nations League a couple of months back. They exchanged a couple of 1-1 draws. They played for 2 draws. I think Georgia were better in both matches. North Macedonia got lucky. Georgia took the lead in both matches, but they were equalized in a matter of 20 minutes. I think exactly 20 minutes. North Macedonia got red cards in both matches, so I expect a physical match from both sides. So the free play is Georgia to win on the 2-way money line without the draw. The odds are, let me see, because I have the Greek odds here. The odds are for Georgia to win at -115. In a match where I don't generally expect to see a lot of goals. So Georgia, 2-way money line at -115 for me.
All right. I love it. And yeah, as we get into these other games and we go through them, we talked about it as a group the other day. You know what I mean? Like there's some games, you look at these totals and they're a couple of games with a total of 2 and a couple of games with a total of 2.25, which is a split line of 2.5. And if you look at the actual exact score odds on some of these games, literally the lowest ones are 0-0 draws at 5-1 and 1-1 draws that are slightly higher at 6-1. It's they're not expecting a ton of goals, and I'm actually thinking of as I stated, playing a bunch of round robins, even though I don't say parlays aren't the greatest thing to take. If you're watching these games, a couple of these plus 500s parlayed together in 2-teamers might be the way to go, because if you hit one of them, you're going to make money. So it's a possibility a couple of these games could go into extra time here, tied at 0 or at 1. With that said, guys, a couple show promos here. First of all is Euro 15. So any one of your the 4 cappers on the show at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, you can get $15 off their Thursday Euro 2021 card by using Euro 15, $15 off that card. So that's a great deal. It's 50%, more than 50% off that package. And we have our end of the year package where you can get the rest of soccer for 2020 at for only $249. That's a great deal because that includes all 5% plays. It's a lot better when Kelly is doing that promo like she did at the beginning of the show, but that's it in a nutshell. So head over to Sports Memo or to WagerTalk.com, click on your cappers page, and you can find the end of year soccer package for only $249. All right, guys, we're going to head to Hungary versus Iceland. I'm going to do this game. Hungary is plus 135. The draw is plus 230. Iceland is plus 200. And the total here is 2.25. As I mentioned, that's a split line of 2.5. So half of your bet is at 2. Half of your bet is at 2.5 with the books. If you can find a 2.5, I would say take that and take the under. I don't see a lot of goals in this one, but I'm going to look at this again as a separation play as far as home and away form goes. Hungary, they were solid at home during the group stages, beating Croatia, Wales, Azerbaijan. They only lost to Slovakia, and they held all the important numbers in the metrics in that game, with the exception of the 2-1 final scoreline. So it's one of those ones where they play extremely well at home. Iceland, listen, this team, I have a fondness for this Iceland team, and mainly because of the fact that in the previous Euros, they knocked off the Lions of the UK, England's team. I think it was a 2-1 scoreline, and those goals were all scored early in that quarterfinal match. And then they got absolutely annihilated by France in the semifinals. I had a 5% play on France in that game, -1. So yes, I love this Iceland team because of that. But anyways, their world form isn't the greatest. They have like one, I think it was one win. They went 1-1-2 in group play. Their losses were to France 4-0. They lost to Albania 4-2, and then a scoreless draw with Turkey before beating that powerhouse of Moldova 2-1. You look at their away form, and they're, you see some wins there, but you got to look at these games: Andorra, Moldova, Canada, and we don't have a powerful team up here other than Alphonse Davies, who plays for Bayern Munich, and then El Salvador. So they've put some powder puff teams on their little schedule there to get some wins, but it's one of those things where I understand this is a one-off game, but it just doesn't give me any confidence backing this team on the road right now. It's one of those things where you've got to look at form home and away with some of these teams. These aren't their Germanys that will go on the road and beat teams. The Netherlands, the Spains. It's just the way it is. If you're looking at this game again, because I think there's a good possibility this game again could be a low scoring 0-0, 1-1 game. I'm going to stay away from the 3-way line. I feel Hungary is going to win this game, but I'm going to lay 143 and take Hungary to qualify. So at your book, you'll see all of them will have an option of a team to qualify. That qualify bet includes extra time and penalty kicks. So whereas the 3-way line is graded on 90 minutes plus injury time, this bet is graded on the final result of the game and whether the team qualifies. So that is my play in this game. Hungary -143 to qualify. Before we head to Ireland versus Slovakia, and Kevin, it's $2 Tuesday at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. And our guy here, Nick, is the $2 guy at WagerTalk along with Andy Lang. They have Masters plays. It's the best. It's the best 4 days of golf you're ever going to see. You want to take part in that. Nick has a $2 play up. Head over to wagertalk.com. You can click on the front page link and get that play over at Sports Memo. It is Mid-Major. Matt is your $2 guy. So head over there, pick up each guy's plays. It's a featured capper. You get their $25 play for only $2. It's an absolutely fantastic deal. All right, Kev, Northern Ireland, Slovakia. Northern Ireland is +175. The draw is under $2, 187 on the draw. And Slovakia is +180. So that's Northern Ireland 175, the draw 187, Slovakia +180. The total is at 2. Quickly, Northern Ireland 2-1-1 during the qualifying stages at home. Their only loss was to Germany 2-0. Slovakia 2-0-2. They beat Hungary and Azerbaijan, but they haven't been a world beater on the road. Give us your lowdown on this game, please.
Yeah, look, nothing against Slovakia here, but what a match this should have been. If the Republic of Ireland had prevailed in the last round against the Slovakians, in that game, I thought the Republic should have won that game. They had by far the most clear-cut chances, hit the bar, over the 90 minutes and beyond. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And here we are, having to talk about Slovakia versus Northern Ireland instead of what should have been a huge derby game between the two neighbours. There's a lot of excitement. I'm from the north myself. There's a lot of excitement for this game on the TV. It's a wee bit like the Dundalk thing in the Europa League. It's all over the TV. This could potentially be the first time that Northern Ireland qualifies for 2 consecutive major tournaments back-to-back. So, there's a lot. And as well, the executive has said that 1,000 fans are allowed to attend the game as well. So they'll have a bit of a home field advantage going into this one. On the surface, it looks like a tacked-on draw. Northern Ireland are winless in regular time over their last 7 international matches across all competitions. And Slovakia have won just one of their last 5 inside 90 minutes also. So it definitely looks to be a low-scoring attrition type affair, that looks to be on the cards for this one. However, as we highlighted in the opening, Slovakia, they've just been extremely poor, especially on the road. That sole regular time win they managed to notch up came last year against Azerbaijan. That's a team with a FIFA coefficient ranking of 114th in the world. And as we already said, I thought they were I am biased, I'll get that out of the way now, but they were extremely fortunate to get past the Republic of Ireland in the last round as well. So, they squeezed by on penalties in that game. In a game that were largely outplayed in my eyes, that kind of form by Slovakia is hardly going to get Ian Barraclough's men teeth chattering out of this encounter. And I think the North can get a result here. At home, the North are incredibly strong. If we take out the Nations League matches, which, look, let's face it, in the middle of a European qualification campaign, Nations League matches are not of the highest priority. Northern Ireland's last 4 results at home have been a 0-0 draw against the Netherlands, a 2-0 loss to Germany, with the final goal in that game coming in the 93rd minute through Serge Gnabry. I thought the North were excellent in that game as well. They actually created more dangerous attacks than the Germans over the 90 minutes, and especially Dallas and Washington. And I haven't, went into the NFL with that. That's 2 of their players' names. They came very close to scoring. So the final 2 results of those 4 were 2-1 wins and 2-0 wins against Belarus and Estonia, respectively. So this is a team that's incredibly hard to beat on home soil. I think this could end in a stalemate after 90 minutes, as both teams are fairly redundant in front of goal. But the North are known for set-piece attacks. They had 25 free kicks against the Germans across both of their games. So I see the home side getting on the end of one of those up front, and I think they can get a 1-0 win at home here. A 1-0 home win correct score prop is plus 550. That looks enticing to me. But for this play, I'll stick with the vanilla play in this one and take Northern Ireland off scratch plus 0 on Thursday to get a result in this one and move on to the Euro 2021 finals next summer.
Yeah, no, and you make good points. The thing is, when I look at this game and you look at the odds, having bet soccer for 20 plus years, I look at a line like this and you see plus 175, 187 and 180 across the board. And then, you because soccer betting has progressed and you see some of the other options that you have, and both teams to score. The no is minus 150. You see that the 2 lowest exact score prices are 0-0 and 1-1 at plus 500 each. After that, it is Northern Ireland to win 1-0 is plus 550, and then you have Slovakia at plus 600 to win 1-0. And I understand that it doesn't always go the way of the odds, but everything here is just pointing to a low-scoring game and one that likely could go to extra time. So I'm shaking on the screen. It's my camera. Sorry, I'm not. There isn't an earthquake going on here. But with that said, it's one of those things that I'm gonna, like I said, play a couple round robins with some of these 1-1 and 0-0 draws, and if you hit one of those 12 different combinations, you're definitely going to be making money on that. Even though I don't advocate playing a ton of parlays, this should be just some beer money, pizza money kind of bets. With that said, we're going to head over to Nick. Nick, you're going to break down Serbia and Scotland. I had to give you this game. I couldn't take it myself. Serbia 2-1-1 during the Euro qualifying at home. Their only loss was to Portugal, who won that group. Scotland 2-0-3, 2 wins, 3 losses in their 5 road qualifying games. The wins were over San Marino and Cyprus. Neither one puts fear in your hearts. No disrespect to those teams, but there's a reason why they finished bottom 2 in that qualifying group. The odds here: Serbia minus 154, the draw is plus 280, and Scotland is plus 400, a juicy plus 400. The total is 2.25, which is a split line of 2.5. Nick, give us a play here.
Thanks, Carm. One point I want to make specifically with kind of all of these matches, and for listeners out there looking to try to figure out who's the better side, what their recent results mean, is to be careful when you're looking at like the Euro group stages. For example, Scotland, they had 10 games in their group stage. They were 9-1 to the over. But if you look at the teams that are in their group, you either have teams that are much better than them, and they're getting blown out, or they're much better than the teams they're playing, like you mentioned, San Marino. So you see a lot of crooked score lines, 4-0, 6-0, 3-0, whatever. So when Scotland, for example, gets into matches that are much more evenly played, like you're going to see in the Nations League, where everybody's on a level playing field, or right now in this last qualifying section of the Euros, it's a totally different team. They continue to get results. That's the one thing I'll say with them is they are unbeaten right now. They're on a good run of 8 games, but they're not scoring. If they score 1 goal. They're not conceding. A lot of their results are 1-0, 0-0. So I just want to caution everybody a little bit on the totals. We're looking at the totals of these types of games is to make sure you're trying to look at the competitions to see, what's what. Make sure you're comparing apples to apples, I guess is a way to say. For this match specifically, Serbia, they finished third in their Euro qualifying group, as expected. They were behind Portugal, Ukraine. Nobody really expected them to beat them. And then ahead of lowly Luxembourg and Lithuania, another perfect example of you're going to beat 2 teams, you're going to lose to 2 teams, and here they fall right in the middle. They won all 4 against Luxembourg and Lithuania, but didn't win any against Ukraine and Portugal. They made it to this final stage of qualifying after outlasting Norway, winning 2-1 in extra time in October. Recently, though, in the last 2 international breaks of the Nations League, Serbia has failed to win a match. They were promoted from League C in 2018 after winning their group against the likes of Lithuania, Montenegro, and a decent Romanian side. So much weaker competition. And now up in League B, they haven't won a match yet. They've failed to get results against Hungary and Russia, and they've drawn against Turkey twice. They actually failed to score a goal at home in both of their home matches, which they were favorites in, just like this match. So again, a word of caution against the Serbia side. Scotland, I already mentioned, they continue to get their results. They have 3 wins and a draw in the Nations League so far, and they beat a good Czech Republic team twice already. Defensively, they've been very, very strong. They haven't conceded more than 1 goal during their current run, while they've scored at least 1 in every match, with their semifinal against Israel being the only exception where they played 0-0 and then they ended up winning in extra time. But I think, just because of the way Scotland plays defensively, I think, if they get on the board here, it's going to be very, very tough for Serbia to cover this line. And I do think Scotland will be able to get on the board. Serbia has kept just 1 clean sheet in their last 8 matches. So again, if Scotland just nets that 1, this thing could end 1-0 Scotland or 1-1 going into extra time, and that'll cover the line. So I'm looking at Scotland. I'm actually going to go plus a half a goal. You can get that at plus money, about plus 120 or plus 125. The line that's out there for everybody to grab is also plus 0.75, 3/4 of a goal, and that's around minus 110 or so. But I like the extra plus money to drop it down to a half a goal. If you're really feeling fun, take Scotland to advance plus 220, as I think they have a pretty decent chance, more than a plus 220 chance, to actually get through this match as well. So I'm on Scotland on this one, guys.
All right, love it. Yeah, and you look at Scotland, and this is their longest unbeaten run, 8 games now since, I think, 1988. It's been a while. And it's a 23-year drought since they've appeared in the Euros. So it's one of those games. You look at it, and Scotland just kind of jumps out at you at those juicy odds of plus 400. So again, this is a game where these are one-off games. This isn't the home and away that they would hold in, for World Cup qualifying. That let's say when they get down to the sort of the playoff spots, where Italy found themselves up against Sweden for the 2018 World Cup, where Sweden advanced. So these are one-offs, and you just never know the makeup of the team. In these one games, you're winning, you're in. So with that said, I like it. And again, if you look at, we discussed like the odds of these games and what like the exact scores are. And you look at this game here, and you look at some of the exact score prices, and you have 1-0 on Serbia is the lowest price right now at plus 450. But the draw 0-0 is plus 700, 1-1 is plus 650. I can see that 650 1-1 draw coming in, and these two teams heading to extra time here. I know Kev is a huge Scotland fan, so he'll probably be cheering for them. I am sure. Okay, guys, one final thing. We've got it's a short show today. Euro 15 is the promo package for this show. You can pick up Thursday's Euro package for any one of the guys or all of them if you want by using the code on each one's page. Euro 15 gets $15 off that Euro package. The end of the year, get every single soccer play from your favorite capper for $249. That includes 5% plays. that are normally priced at $40. And with a bunch of Champions League and Europa League still left before this year is over, there's a ton of daily plays with no other sports going on right now other than weekend football. So this is a great deal if you need to stay in the game. The $2 cappers, Nick Borrman. Nick, you have is it a player versus player matchup today?
Yep. It's a head-to-head matchup for this week. Yep.
All right. So Nick and Andy Lang are the $2 guys at WagerTalk. Mid-major Matt is the $2 guy at Sports Memo. Head over there, pick up these. These are the featured cappers. The $2 Tuesday is one of the greatest deals you're going to find. You can get their plays that are regularly priced at either $25 or $40 if it's a 5% plate for only $2. Great deal. Head over there, pick those up. We'll be back with next week. It'll probably be a Champions League preview show. Champions League does not return until the following Tuesday with match day 4, but we will probably go in depth on all the games, or we'll do a Europa League qualifying thing. Guys, thanks for tuning in. A lot of you guys, Chance Carverpot, Jay Elray, Lamaquina, Mixed by Post. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It was a shorter show today. I've got to head on out of here. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, good luck with your wagers, guys.
No baseball, basketball, or hockey to get you through until the football weekend? Don't worry, we have you covered over at WagerTalk and Sportsmo with our soccer handicappers. Get the rest of 2020 from your favorite soccer expert with an all-access soccer package for just $249. This is normally priced at $399, but right now it's discounted $150 off, and it includes any 5% plays normally priced at $40. Just head over to WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com to take advantage of this deal to lock in one of your soccer experts through the end of the year.